All right, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to You Don't Know Ball. Got another mock coming for y'all today, but I want to switch it up a little bit because I said we were rounding out these crazy fun sliders only mocks last time where I was going to do just the evens and odds, but then it dawned on me, how could we not have one where the computer just does the whole thing and then we just react to it? I feel like that'd be fun. And then so here's the thing, I just want to disclaim. I can't seem to figure out a way to do it where the computer would do the whole thing by itself. As long as we pick a team though, it lets us go in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the Bears number one. We're going to take Caleb off the board at number one. We're going to let the randomness unfold from there just because I don't really know any other way we can do it without it. That's just my best logical approach. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And again, remember, this is a sliders adjusted mock. So once I press start on this, we pick Caleb, it's going to get crazy. Okay, first off the clock at number 2, Drake made of the Commanders. Nothing super random or crazy yet, as we know. I mean, this is definitely something we have a very fair chance of seeing on draft night. Okay, the Patriots at number 3 taking Dallas Turner is just absolute insanity, especially because they just traded Mac Jones. So assumingly in this mock, the Patriots are going QB in the later rounds, taking Dallas right off the board here at number 3. And then another one here again where, hey, Marvin number 4, definitely something we have a really, really good chance to see in draft night. If the Cardinals don't trade down or teams aren't looking to trade up for that QB, I think this is probably the most likely scenario here for the Cardinals. So nothing too random on that one. Okay, Talise Fuaga to the Chargers at number 5. I mean, if they're taking a tackle, I do definitely think it's going to be Joe Alt. But at the end of the day, definitely not bad value at all in Talise Fuaga. I think, if you're a Chargers fan, you would prefer Joe Alt too, as I think most teams would. But hey, it's not bad value at Talise Fuaga for sure. Definitely really early to come off the board for him, but it's not terrible value for sure. Jackson Powers Johnson going number 6. That is definitely as early as I've seen him go in any of these mocks, random or not. That right there is insanity. However, does definitely fill a need on the Giants O-line. I guess you should go and stick it with Daniel Jones in this one. And then Cooper DeJean off the board, number 7 to the Titans. Again, definitely not. It's not like it's not a need they have. It's definitely just not the most pressing need. However, I mean, you're definitely taking one of my favorite players in this draft off the board. I mean, not the best value you could have gotten, but hey, you took a great player, and you can't be that unhappy with it if you're a Titans fan, even though it is definitely an incredibly random pick right there. Tyler Guyton at pick 8. Let's just keep it real, Falcons fans. That is maybe the first egregious pick of this mock. Not that I don't like Tyler Guyton, just view him as more of a project, and taking him anywhere outside the top, I'll say even 16, just feels like you're reaching a little too far, and that's what happens when you turn the sliders on in these mocks. I'm sorry. I know. I'm terrible. I forgot. How could I forget? The Bears also picking at pick 9. I've been doing so many of these mocks. How did that dawn on me? But you know what? Real quick, take him off the board right here. Bears fans will be happy with this. He was going to come off sooner than later. Take some of the randomness away. I'm sorry. But you know what? This ends up just being the Bears fans' dream mock in the middle of it being the random mock. We're taking Malik Neighbors right here. Take him off the board, man, to the Bears. I just got to play it logical for a second. And then Quinyon Mitchell off the board at number 10. Humongous head scratcher. Jets fans saying to themselves, our DB room, I think, is it's just fine right now in comparison to the O-line room. We definitely needed the O-line help, and but again, that's what we get with these random mocks. Yeah, just be honest for a second, Vikings fans. Again, not that I'm not a TJ Tampa guy. Love him somewhere in that second round, but if you're here to pick 11, it's just not the value you were looking for right there. Broncos going Brock Bowers. Again, definitely not at all the value they needed. Sean Payton gets himself a tool, though, man. Sean Payton definitely gets himself someone he can cook with over here. I don't know how much this is immediately helping the Broncos, but definitely getting themselves a guy. And then the Raiders take Jordan Morgan, and the whole world is shocked, scratching their heads, taking him a whole round, basically, at this point, expected where he's had to go. And you know what, though? Maybe is that just maybe a little bit on brand for the Raiders over the last half decade or so? Maybe it ends up working out just fine here, Raiders fans. I'm just playing with y'all. And then I got my squad, the Saints, taking Jared Verse. I mean, call me a homer, but I'm really happy with that one, man. We need a pass rusher. Get one of the best ones in the draft. Hey, Mickey, the AI sliders adjusted version of Mickey Loomis. I applaud you. Then the Colts at pick 15 taking Graham Barton. Definitely a bit of a reach, but at the same time, he's one of these guys where I think he could go earlier than a lot of people have expected him to, and the Colts is definitely a great landing spot for what they need, so I don't mind it at all. I mean, if this ends up happening here, man, random, but also I definitely don't mind it. I definitely don't mind it at all. I don't think Colts fans will mind it too much either. And then 16 for the Seahawks here. Man, this right here might be the best pick of the whole mock so far. I think it is. Like, Seahawks desperately need help on that interior O-line. And you're getting yourself a guy where you can play him literally anywhere you want in that interior. I mean, Troy Fontana right here to the Seahawks at pick 16. They just threw the randomness to the wind and said, fuck that. No, we're playing this like how the Bears in this mock are playing it. We're going with the value we need. That's hilarious. So, yeah, the Seahawks got a good one here. Definitely great value. Jerzon Newton to the Jags. Again, definitely not like the biggest positional need they had. But also, like, definitely still would not mind getting depth in that position. You're definitely starting to build that D-line, potentially losing Josh Allen. Like, definitely nothing wrong with that and Jerzon Newton to this D-line, and it would not be a bad move in the slightest. And then the Bengals get Byron Murphy. Man, oh man, this better not happen in real life because this would be a little scary right here. Just adding the perfect depth that they need to that D-line, really rounding them out. I mean, this would be a fantastic pick to the Bengals. Just the real draft, I don't think that he's going to fall as far as he has in any of the mocks that I'm doing where I'm controlling him. And most people are, at this point, I think, would agree in their mocks. But Bengals fans, you got a good one, man. You got a fantastic value in this right here. And then sure enough, even with the randomness turned up, a slider turned all the way up, we're seeing a pick that you might see from mock here to here. I know that there's been some rumbling, just maybe could Bo Nix end up being a Ram. I don't think that they go QB with the first round pick. However, if they do decide to go that route, there's definitely a slim chance that Bo Nix could be the guy right here. The way that Sean McVay wants to do stuff over there, sneaky, but kind of fun. I like that. I like that's where the Rams went in this one. And then Terran Arnold to the Steelers at pick 20. I actually love it. I'm sure Steelers fans would agree too. Like, you really needed a DB. Getting yourself one with fantastic pedigree, again, who's just been rising heavily over these boards past year. I mean, you got to be happy with Terran Arnold here at pick 20. There's definitely nothing wrong with that in the random mock. And then pick 21 to the Dolphins. Latu. I mean, minus the fact that the Dolphins, as we know, already are having major issues with pass rushers and health. The two of them being, coexistent together. Look, you take that problem away, and the fact that Latu is in that same boat with this history. But again, the past 2 seasons have been just fine. You're not worried about it immediately. And you're getting the guy with, I would say, potentially the highest, floor of any of the pass rushers in this year's class. We're just worried about that health. And so with that being said, I mean, if he stays healthy, this is fantastic value. And if you're a Dolphins fan, you're ecstatic with this one. So definitely not bad value at all. And then pick 22 to the Eagles, Nate Wiggins. I'm sure Eagles fans are going to say to themselves, there's a few other DBs on the board here maybe we would have preferred instead. But at the end of the day, you're getting a guy with a fantastic frame, good instincts, obviously great speed. He's definitely got tools. You just got to build them up a little bit, get that weight up a little bit. But at the end of the day, definitely not bad value for the Eagles here at pick 22. And then Zach Frazier here at pick 23 to the Texans. Certainly a shocker. But again, at the same time, you want to bolster that O-line. You want to give him a guy you think's a day one starter, improvement over your current position? Hey, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I said in one of my previous mocks that I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't be surprised if the Texans went O-line. I had them going more tackle or guard route. But hey, center, nothing wrong with that too, because again, when you get a guy like CJ Stroud, want to protect him. Computer in this random mock think the same thing as me, and again, definitely interesting. But I wouldn't say it's even bad value. I don't think you would mind that too much in the future if you're a Texans fan. And then Chris Braswell to the Cowboys here. Definitely depth of value with the way things are going. I mean, the Cowboys D-line, as we know, is stacked up. You got a lot of guys rotating, a lot of good guys at that. But you're adding just another one here. I mean, in this mock, the Cowboys just decided to go full-blown. We're going to have the pass rush unit of the league. Adding Chris Braswell to that unit, I mean, man, oh man, that is a scary line, as if it wasn't already. So Cowboys in this mock just decided to bolster an already scary unit. I got to tip the cap to him. Definitely unique, and definitely that's not what we're going to see them do for real, but it's certainly an interesting scenario we just saw play out. Then Xavier Legette to the Packers at 25. It's actually very interesting, because I was hearing recently Xavier Legette's transition to where he is now in college has actually been very interesting. And I'm not going to recite any of it right here because I don't want to get any information wrong or anything like that. However, if you're interested in his story, I encourage you to go look it up because it was very eye-opening as to why maybe his transition has not been as easy or has been a little bit slower than other receivers that are transferring from another position over to receiver in college, which is what Xavier did. Now, once I figured this out, and I started realizing, like, hey, it's going to make more sense. Xavier Legette actually might have a higher ceiling than maybe a few people, and me even, had given him credit for. So what I'm going to say is, I actually don't mind this pick that much at all. I think, again, the Packers, the receiving room is probably coming together more where you don't really need to add another one. I wouldn't, and I definitely don't think you need to add one in the first round, let me be clear. But, all in all, it's not the worst value in the world. It certainly is a reach, and it certainly isn't the pick I know Packers fans want to see, but at the end of the day, I'm just trying to give you some silver lining on it, give you, a little bit of a different way to look at it, and Xavier get pick 25 to the Packers, certainly something. And then the computer was thinking just how I was thinking the other day, if y'all tuned into that mock, because what I did is it was for, biggest need, and J.C. Latham was still on the board sitting for me, and I was saying to myself, the Bucs, we don't need a tackle, but we definitely need someone on the interior. And I know there's been word J.C. Latham may be an interior player in the NFL. Hey, the Bucs, simulation mode, thinking the same things I was thinking, So I don't mind it at all. Again, random in theory, but at the end of the day, the Bucs could definitely make this work. The Bucs could definitely make this work, and I think it's kind of a sneaky. I really love this pick. Brian Thomas Jr. to the Cardinals. It's just terrifying now because what? So we have Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison, Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, that's a trio. Add Kyler in there. Hey, Cardinals fans, y'all want offense only, but when you have an offense like this that you're building on, it officially just kind of became scary hours over there in Arizona. And then Peyton Wilson to the Bills at 28. Again, I don't think this is something we're going to see with a high chance on draft night. But what I want to say is it's not like it's impossible. And I actually kind of like it. The Bills really need a linebacker. You're getting what many believe is the best linebacker in this year's class, health concerns being the main thing about him. If you take those away and he ends up being healthy in the league, you're getting a good long-term starter. I kind of love Peyton Wilson right here to the Bills. Definitely a very good landing spot, despite the fact that, again, this is the random mock. There's been a lot of picks here in this one, gang, that honestly, I don't mind at all, even though the randomness is all the way turned up. And then if you're the Lions here at pick 29, you just got arguably literally a top 3 talent in the entire draft over here at pick 29. I mean, that is absolute insanity. He fell on the board so far. I didn't, it was a matter of when he was going to get taken. I don't want to say anything about it, but I was thinking to myself, there's just the 0% chance he's going to fall to the first round, right? Thankfully, I was right about that. And, falling to the Lions, definitely don't need a tackle, at least immediately. But Joe Alt, he really is a tackle, but it's in this scenario, is Joe Alt going to play guard? I don't know. I love him anywhere on the line, though. I think you make it work anywhere, regardless of how you want to state it. The Lions' O-line was already a scary unit. But man, oh man, this unit is ready to just move mountains now, Lions fans. This is just ridiculous right here. And then Romo Dunze falling to pick 30. Again, another guy where I don't want to say anything. I'm man, there's no way, right? Sure enough, hey, Lamar is doing triple backflips in the suite hearing this news. There's nothing else that needs to be said. Romo falling to pick 30 is just quite funny. But if you're a Ravens fan in whatever alternate universe this is, you're ecstatic today. And then at pick 31, Marshawn Kneeland. Definitely a reached pick, but at the same time, I like Marshawn Kneeland. I like him more after the combine. You're definitely getting a depth pick here for the Niners, but at the same time, hey, I don't hate it. I don't think they're going to take this pick. I wouldn't take this pick this early. But, somebody to rotate with Drake Jackson over there opposite Nick Bosa, just bolstering this unit, you definitely can't hate on it. Not the worst value in the world, that's for sure. And then I had to pull up the full results here to see the Chiefs one, because right when the Chiefs one did, it just finished cut straight to the end here. So, without further ado, the Chiefs in the fully random mock. We had to get closed out on something crazy, right? Sure enough, the Chiefs take J.J. McCarthy off the board at pick 32. The whole league distraught, confused. The Chiefs are just taking talent away from us, so we don't have QBs now. The Chiefs dynasty is going to these extremes. Man, oh man, this was a lot of fun. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for sticking around. And if you enjoyed, drop a like, drop a sub. We'd love to see you back. You have a great rest of your day.